As we enter Module 4, you're going to begin to recognize many of the same terms as we expand your skill set with suicide prevention. Part of mental health promotion and suicide prevention with your students relies in the development of your students' social and emotional wellness, social emotional learning, or SEL, which we know refers to the overall emotional well-being of your students. SEL can contribute to and enhance your students' academic achievement and their wellness, and is able to decrease risky behaviors and improve relationships with your students as their teacher. As a teacher, you're building many of these different skill sets in your classroom. You build upon your students' strengths while integrating academic and social emotional success. You coordinate efforts with the integration of SEL. You already address prevention. You recognize how important positive youth development is. But let's refresh on a few of those important definitions. So what is SEL? Social Emotional Learning, or SEL, is the process through which children and adults acquire and effectively apply the knowledge, attitudes, and skill necessary to understand and manage emotions. The skills and strategies that children and teens gain through SEL have been shown to increase protective factors and reduce risk factors associated with suicide. Positive goals for your students, how they feel and show empathy for others, being able to establish and maintain positive relationships with peers and adults, and making responsible decisions are all included with those SEL skills. What SEL does is that it enhances your students' capacity to integrate skills, attitudes, and behaviors to deal effectively and ethically with daily tasks and challenges. When you integrate SEL in your classroom, it effectively promotes the positive development of your students by improving their academic achievement while impacting positive social behavior, while in turn reducing their conduct problems and emotional distress. More information can be located in the Castle Guide. The SEL framework promotes intrapersonal, interpersonal, and cognitive competencies. SEL assists your students in developing skills such as students can better understand themselves and others, develop meaningful relationships, and make constructive decisions. Your students benefit from strategies designed to reach all students in 3 different ways. Number 1, they display more positive behaviors. Number 2, they display fewer negative behaviors. And number 3, they show improved school performance. So there are 5 ways for you to implement social emotional learning in your classroom. Let's start with number 1. Start the day with a morning meeting or check-in with your students. Outside the walls of your classroom, your students lead a life comparable to you. That is, they enter the building and come into your classroom with experiences and emotions unique to each of them. By providing students with a morning meeting or check-in, they have an opportunity to share these experiences and learn about their classmates as well as themselves. Number 2, teach your students to solve problems with conflict or peer mediation. As their teachers, we know that our days with our students are seldom dull. There is always a scrape to take care of, a head that is hurting, or students that are struggling to get along. Instances such as these can be used as teachable moments. Take the time to address the conflicts that students are having, whether including the whole class or discussing it with a small group, and then model how to come to an understanding. Ask students to give each side of their stories and challenge them to find a common ground. Number 3, use role-playing activities so that your students can practice these skills, some of which may be new skills to them. Empathy is a skill that even adults have a hard time mastering. So it comes as no surprise that students have a hard time being empathetic. Including activities that allow students to role play, this can really help them understand from a new perspective. Number 4, anchor charts are one of those teacher favorite ways to add some color to the classroom space and remind students of important information at the same time. Social emotional learning is incredibly important, and creative anchor charts have turned some of those concepts that you are teaching into memorable anchor charts. Anchor charts allow teachers to have a discussion with their students and take live notes for students to look back to when they need a reminder. These charts can be great additions to any lesson, but they play an especially important role in SEL. By using anchor charts to teach children social emotional skills, you're not only modeling behaviors on your students' behalf, but you're also providing them with resources that they can feel free to look at whenever they're having issues. And number 5, check out as much as you check in with your students. End your day with a quick discussion about how the students felt the day went. As a class, discuss what went well and what did not go so well for that day. Sit down with the students and come up with goals for the next day. Send students home with the hope of a better tomorrow, because let's face it, we are all looking for a little hope. What SEL does is it validates what each of you are doing in the role of a teacher each and every day. It is not another add-on to the existing endless list of responsibilities that you already have as a teacher. Social emotional skills can be implicitly embedded in the practice of teaching and learning. SEL is about reframing the incidental teaching of SEL skills into intentional practice. Teaching social and emotional competency set the tone for effective student social and emotional skills. The more of these skills and strategies you use, both through your own approach and through the social and instructional teaching practices, the more skills and strategies students will be exposed to and have opportunities to practice. This is why it is a fundamental need for teachers to be part of any SEL implementation. As teachers, you can help students develop social and emotional learning and competence, combat youth suicide, because we know research shows this very clearly. SEL is already consistently included in many youth suicide prevention programs. Beyond these programs, SEL mitigates youth suicide risk factors in its own right. Increasing the focus on SEL with your students should be one part of a comprehensive youth suicide prevention program. Good mental health is critical in your students' success in school and in life. Research demonstrates that students who receive social, emotional, and mental health support achieve better academically. School climate, classroom behavior, on-task learning, and students' sense of connectiveness and well-being all improve as well. Mental health is not simply the absence of mental illness, but also encompasses social, emotional, and behavioral health, and is the ability to cope with life challenges.